Good evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Crystal Gomez. I am your business moderator for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our next speaker is Arba Cooper. Arba Cooper is a dynamic solo entrepreneur, marketing strategist, and technology trainer with a background in engineering from Howard University. She simplifies complex marketing concepts and empowers entrepreneurs through hands on training, mentorship, and real world experience. She is a former Hewlett Packard engineer turned business owner and has led a successful venture in publishing, digital media, and event planning. She is a constant contact certified partner, podcast guest, and subject matter expert for programs like SBDC and Queen City Pop Up. As a founder of Vision Doers, she creates safe spaces for entrepreneurs to connect, learn, and grow. She is also an author, speaker, and accomplished actress. I present to you Arba Cooper.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey, friend.
I
What are you
know.
doing?
Good. How are you?
I am
We
awesome.
should have just did this together.
Right. Well, we're gonna share with the world today.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, and I look forward to catch up with you and hear about what you have going on now.
Awesome. Good to see you.
Likewise,
Genius is coming.
and I'll see you on the other
That's
side.
right. All right. Now, I've been doing this for too long. If I already know everything and I'm starting to know all the people, and Crystal is an awesome person to know. Crystal and I have been on a couple of stages together talking about technology. And today I have been asked again, and Dr. Eric Kelly and I have been cutting up backstage. So I got to get serious now. But what I am going to talk about today is about AI again. That if you're not using AI, then I don't know what else to tell you, because I actually looked back in my archives and I saw that I talked about AI on this platform 2 years ago. I can't even believe it's already been 2 years. And I was saying then that AI, it ain't nothing new. And it's not. And if you didn't learn about it 2 years ago, then you're even further behind now. Something that Dr. Eric Kelly may not have known, I know I didn't tell him, and I said he's going to find out now, is that he asked me to send my headshot, and my headshot was AI. Oh, yeah. I'm really learning how to use this AI. So, some of the things that I have been using AI for in these last 2 years is, you've already heard headshot. Now, let me explain this. That there are so many ways to use AI and so many different technologies. So this particular technology that I use, and I'm not even going to name drop because ain't nobody paying me. I'm not getting any affiliate fees, so I'm not name dropping. But I'll just say that there's AI software that you can give it, feed into it different pictures of yourself, right? And now I wear my hair different a lot. And if you look back on any of the archived recordings, you'll see. So my hair is either up, it's down, it was short, growing. And so I fed into this AI these different pictures of myself. All of them were smiling, though, because I like my pictures to be smiling. And then what you can do is you can tell it what kind of environment you want to be in. So I could tell it that I would like a traditional headshot, or I can put myself on a yacht, I could be on a Caribbean island. I could be in a business office. I could tell it any of this. Now, here's how great this AI is, that once I tell it what kind of environment I want to be in, and I can either say whether I want to be standing or sitting or whichever, this AI does my hair. What? I'm like, when I figured that out, because there's something that's called regenerate, meaning that when you do something with AI and maybe you don't like it and you want it to regenerate and give you something else. So I realized that every time I would regenerate it, it would do my hair. It would redo my hair, change my clothes, put accessories on me. I'm telling you, unless you need to hear me in person, you're going to get AI. And but on that note, you can also use AI to do what's called an avatar. And I've tried that too. Initially, like 2 years ago, when this technology first started, the lip movements and gestures were a little out of sync. So what you would do is, again, you would program in it yourself moving and talking. So if my mannerisms were always that I would talk with my hands up and go this way and go that way and look this way and look that way, then you could tell it's AI, because if I only did like 10 seconds of a certain hand movement this way, that way, up or down, then you would notice that the AI was always doing the same hand gestures, every 10 seconds. So I'm giving you some pointers. When you start watching some things, you'll start keying in and looking at what may be AI and what's not. Kind of back in the day, is it Memorex? Is this real or live or Memorex? Is it live or Memorex? That's what's happening. And AI used to, when it first started, we used to get the 6 fingers. Used to get a lot of the images had too many fingers. So they've corrected that, but some of that you can still find. So some of you may still be sitting back there, like, ooh, I don't want to use AI. I don't want to use AI, but I'm telling you, AI is a time saver. So you have to ask yourself that in marketing, okay, when you're doing marketing, you want to like have a social media post, and then you want someone to go to a landing page. And maybe when they go to that landing page, they fill out a form. And when they fill out that form, they should get an email. So let's go back to the Flintstone days before AI, or even for some of you now that's not using AI, that a lot of you are not successful in your marketing because you're doing everything manually. Number one, you're coming up with a social media post. So let's talk about the non-AI and the AI. The life of, if we did the life of a non-AI marketer and an AI marketer. So a non-AI marketer, first of all, they have to think, what should I post about today? So then you're taking time trying to figure out what should you post, right? Then you figure out, okay, what I'm going to post. Then you say, okay, what image should I use for this post? And so then you're trying to find either stock images, or if you're a graphic designer, you're trying to create the image. Time a ticking doing that. Then now you've come up with something creative to say in your post, and you use whatever you use to create the image, and then you post it, right? So you got your post, and then you should have a call to action on that post. Go DM me, go to my page, go to this link, or do whatever, right? So now you say that you want the person to go to your landing page for more information. Now, what should I put on this landing page? Tick, 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 time's thinking. You're trying to figure out what to put on the landing page. So finally you figure that out. You come up with all the great content, how you want to write it. Now you got to put some images. on this landing page because you got to attract people with the images. Now, what about a video? Because, you know, people are attention span is short. People like to watch videos. Oh, now what am I going to say in this video? And then now, how am I going to create? Oh, God, my hair's not right. I don't want to be in this video. Not today. Let me put the video off until I get my hair done. Okay. So now some odd days pass and now you do the video. You're doing the video and you're trying to do it. You're trying to be perfect and you know, messed up what you was trying to say. Well, let me scratch that. Let me do the video again. You're getting my point. All of this, wait, I'm not even finished yet. So you finally get the video done. You're editing the video, whichever. Now you got your social media posts, you got your landing page, your video on your landing page, and somebody fills out the form. Somebody fills out the form. You get an email. Oh, great. Somebody filled out my form. Now you got to send them an email. So now, okay, what can I craft up? What can I say in this email to kind of move them along my sales process? So now you're trying to create this email and you get out the email. You get distracted, whatever happens, you don't get the email out. Time passes. Let's say you were trying to promote an event and then you didn't even get out the email in time for people to even, you know, register for the event or get the updates on the event or you know, whichever. Okay, now fast forward, if you use AI, that whole process you could have gotten done in like an hour. How? Number one, you just give AI just a prompt, just a short prompt, and you could tell it create 20, however many posts you want, social media posts. Just give it a concept and say, I want 20 posts on this subject. It'll do all those. It'll come up with catching headings, some phrases, whatever you want, pictures. It'll even put pictures. So it'll come up with all those posts in advance for you. Now you got all your posts, right? And then a landing page. Now they've got the technology, the AI. You could tell, I want a landing page that talks about this. It already knows all of the marketing concepts of how you should have an engaging header, engaging images. You should have call to action and all of this stuff. It places all of that, creates that landing page, lickety split for you, right? Now let's talk about videos. I already said earlier about how you can use yourself as an avatar. And because the video shouldn't be long anyway, it should be a short video. I've done videos. It's quite comical, actually, because this is the early stages of it. I haven't done the new ones, but you can do a video of yourself talking perfectly, or you can use what's called the AI avatars. Now, I use the mess out of those. I've used some avatars that the women look really good, and I got some engagement that I wasn't expecting to get because they thought it was me. And I was like, that's not me. That's my AI avatar. But you can use male, female, different ethnicities, whatever. So the avatar is going to talk perfect. Now, you can actually use avatars that can have a different kind of accent or what have you, even a whole different language. You hear me? Are you trying to reach people in other countries, people who don't speak English? You can have your own avatar speak a whole nother language using AI. Okay. So now you got your video, you got all your social media posts, your video on your landing page. Now, automation with the AI. You set it up that as soon as somebody fills out the form, they automatically get an email. Hands off, you're not doing anything. Now, why? For any of you who are not using AI, why wouldn't you? Why would you still want to chisel a message out of stone? That's Flintstone days. Come on, get with the ages. They're just in 2 years, I've seen so much. You can do And I've seen full movies. Now I'm an actress. If you can't tell, that's a lot of my animation. And I'm not trying to lose, acting gigs or whichever, but it's coming because you can use AI to do a full feature film. Now, AI cannot create itself. So what do you need? You need people who are trained. That is the big economy now, the big demand. So to be able to prompt, to know how to prompt AI, because I'll tell you, it's not, depending on which software that you're using, that there's some software that AI is the foundation of it. And all you have to do is simple prompts, and then it does all of the other prompting in the background so that your final product is easier to use. But then there's the how it's advanced from 2 years ago, that you used to have to know how to do all the prompts. So that if you said you wanted a female in an office looking like she's tired or overwhelmed, your first prompt may not give you the picture that you wanted. So you have to learn how to enhance that prompt to really get the kind of picture that you wanted. That's if you were just prompting on your own, like using any of the chats and trying to prompt and get the code. But now a lot of apps are being created, and there's people who are creating their own platforms, and they're doing all of the advanced prompts so that you could just put something simple in and it will do all the advanced prompts and then get you what the final product that you're trying to achieve. What are some other things that I've seen with AI? I get in on a lot of these webinars because I need to keep up with what's happening in technology, because I am the digital technologist. And so app building, that there's what's called no code prompts, no code app building, no code something. So basically anyone that, if you learn what you do is, it's very interesting. You use one AI, which could be a chat or a prompting AI. You use that AI to help you build the code, and then to put it on another platform. So what I've seen is there are really, I've seen a lot of good ones, but being that I'm a faith-based person, there was someone who built a prayer app. Okay. And many times you have people that go through hard times and you don't know what to say to them. And you want to give them like the right scripture or something, and maybe you don't want to flip through and try to figure it out. She created an app that basically you put in a few words like a loss of a child, that someone's very sick, or whichever. You put it in the app, and it will, and then you can say, do you want a short prayer, middle-sized prayer, or long prayer? And you give it the amount of text that you want to do, and it spits that out for you. So now you have something that maybe you want to write it in a card to give to someone, or pray on your own, or whichever. Just giving an example of apps that people are creating. They're creating their own apps. And then, of course, if you're, if you don't want to learn how to do work with AI, then there are people who are making money. They will do it for you. So I'm thinking of myself, like, as a web designer, that it could take, before AI, it could take months to build a website, right? Now with AI, I could get a website built in a couple of days. Because now everything has an AI as a foundation. Website platforms now, either they have a little section, so instead of trying to figure out what to say in a certain section on your website. You just tell it what you're trying to do. Are you trying to gauge a person into making a decision? Are you trying to give them more information? What are you trying to do? And then you could tell the AI, give it a little prompt of what you're trying to do, and it'll give you suggestions. It'll say, do you like this one? Choose this one, choose that one. And now you can get the content on your site built a lot quicker. What else have I used it for? Definitely, I use it for more engaging headers on even my pages. Like I said before, that I used AI to create my headshot, because everybody, even with acting, they always want me to send an updated headshot. And so as long as nothing drastically has changed about me, then I'll just have AI create a updated headshot. If I want to do a banner on my website that says that I am a speaker, then I can create a banner on my website that has me speaking to an audience. I could even tell it what clothes I want to wear, in casual attire, in business, a fitted business. I can make myself lose a few pounds on that picture if I want. Put that on there. Oh, I had someone who asked me, do I do voiceovers? And I was like, yeah, sure, I do voiceovers, which I do, but I didn't have a landing page that talked about it. I created a landing page in probably like an hour, where I used AI to put me in a studio. I said, put me in a studio with headphones and looking like I'm, with the whole professional microphone. And then I came up with I had the AI come up with what it should say, about being a voice talent and whichever. And I got business from that, because I was ready. Because I didn't have to I didn't have to just say, yeah, I could do voiceover, let me send you something. I was able to quickly create that landing page that had examples of my work on there. It was a professional page, had my form on there, and I got that business. So no more dragging your feet trying to figure out what to say, how to create something professional, or even paying a lot of money for someone else to do it for you and waiting for them to do it for you. Now, mind you, again, there are some people, I don't care how much training, and I do train, teach people how to use AI and a lot of other tools. There are some people, it doesn't matter how much you train them. They're just not going to do it. They're not going to do it because they don't have time to do it, but they do have money. And so therefore, they will pay you to do it, but only if you keep up with your skills and learn how to do it. So talk a little bit about some of the naysayers, about AI. Some say that, especially like copywriters, there's a lot of copywriters that will say, oh, it's not authentic, you're using AI to write your books, or to write your write your this or write your that. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm so much for that either, but I'm also one that believes there's nothing new under the sun. So they're really, if you're trying to write, giving people tips about, let's say, for instance, with me, with marketing. And if I'm trying to write a book about marketing tips, is there really anything that somebody else hasn't already said? But I'm just saying it in my words, or putting it in my steps, or whichever. So it's a lot easier and quicker to write something that, instead of looking at a blank sheet of paper or a blank screen, let AI prompt give you a good start. I've used it to help me get started, to just get my juices flowing. I'm a creative person, but I have been able to use AI, give me some ideas, and then I can take it from there. Okay. There was something else I was just going to say of what I had use it for? Gosh, there's so many things. Recipes. There are, oh, another funny one. Someone created an app called What's in My Refrigerator, or What's in the Kitchen, or something like that, for people that, if you've ever had like a mixture of different things in your kitchen, and you're like, I need to make something for dinner, and all I have is these 5 ingredients, what can I make with that? There's an app, you can put that in, you can say, I have these 5 ingredients, what can I make? And it will come up with a recipe based on what you have. And some of them have been pretty interesting. That not only the recipe, what how to bake it, how to cook it, or whichever. So there's all kinds of things that can help you, when you're in a bind, and using these different apps. So your mind, it's AI is only capable of doing whatever your mind can conceive, whatever you can think of. So think about all of the inventions, all of the things that now can be created because people are freer to think and get things done. I've got like a lot of examples, and I'm kind of like just going off the cuff here of what I've seen. There is a woman who, furniture. She makes really expensive furniture. And so she was using AI to put the furniture to stage, because that's the thing, is to be able to sell her expensive furniture, she needed to stage it in beautiful homes. Well, how much would it cost her, and how much time, and what could she do to be able to go to these expensive homes? And also, even if she had an expensive home, then she doesn't want to keep showing the furniture in her own home. So she started using AI to stage her furniture in beautiful homes, and that would help to sell her product. Think about this existed a long. I mean, AI has been around much longer than it 2 years ago. It's just became available for us commoners, for the public. But back, I remember with hairstyles, that they were using it, where it's particularly like these haircut franchises, that if someone was thinking about getting a certain hairstyle, maybe cutting their hair, curling their hair, cutting, curling, or different styles, then there was ways that you could, the old school ways, you put your face in these apps, and then it would swap out your hair. Think about that. If that didn't exist, there could be some people that would get some bad choices on some of their hairstyles and haircuts. So, technology is really here to help us, not to hurt us. And let me think of some other things. I mean, I'm not ready to get into a AI driven car. I mean, I'm not that for it just yet, but I'm pretty sure that's around the corner with that. Editing videos. Oh, I know something else I was going to say about backgrounds. Have you ever taken a really nice picture, and maybe somebody photobombed the picture, or the background just wasn't conducive to maybe where you want to use that picture? Now you can use AI. I remember back in the day before AI, where with Photoshop, and you had to like wipe out and try to get rid of the back. That would take hours to get rid of the background. Now, with just a click, and there's certain phones that now have it built in, that you can take a picture and just like with your finger, just move a whole subject out of the picture, move the background, change the background. I've used that before, where I'm trying to get a certain effect with a maybe with an ad or a website or whatever image I'm trying to create. And so you could just click a button and the whole background is gone. You can even remove people. I had AI create a image for me where I look like I'm speaking to an audience. But for some reason, my AI had the whole audience was black. As a matter of fact, something even funnier, because I had to learn how to program it right, that if the audience was facing me, then everyone in the audience looked like me. Now that was funny. They all looked like me, but it made some men, some women, some had totally gray hair, some had blonde, but either way, their face, because that's what that particular program was meant to do, was to emulate my face. So it made everybody in the audience me. I was like, okay, that's not going to be believable. It's hilarious, but it's not going to be believable. So what I did is I did a different image, and I said, have the audience that they're like maybe three-quarter turn, so that wasn't emulating my face. And so again, though, it chose to still make all of the audience black. And I said, well, I wanted a diverse audience. So what I was able to do using AI is I could just click on any person in that photo, totally remove that person. And then I went to another image and another audience, somebody that looked like they were sitting in the chair the same way, and just placed them in that chair. So everything you see, don't believe it, because a lot of things are being created with AI. Something I just thought about is medical. So for some of you naysayers about technology and AI, they're already using AI in the medical industry to perform certain procedures. So think about it. If you have a choice between a skilled surgeon or a skilled AI robot, knowing that a human is not perfect. So let's say that skilled surgeon, no matter how skilled they are, and they're doing a particular procedure that needs precision, they sneeze, they hiccup, they do anything, that skilled surgeon could totally botch up some kind of procedure. But now you bring in robotics, AI, so the same thing. I want to say this. There's some people that say, oh, something can happen with that AI. Something can happen with the human, but you got to look at the odds. But the precision AI robot could do that same procedure, and you wouldn't have to at least worry about a hiccup or a sneeze or anything like that. So that's another way. Again, there's the pros and the cons. Research is another big one. Oh my God, I'm thinking about the fact that again, let me bring it back to marketing. One of the things in marketing is you should research your competition. And a lot of businesses don't, solopreneurs, small businesses, they don't do that. They don't research their competition because it's time consuming. Do you know with AI, you can get that information in seconds? You can just ask AI, prompt it to say, what other businesses in my area or in my whichever, give me the top 10 that do this, that do that, or whichever. And you can break it down. I mean, get a full report. It's all about how you prompt. You could get just the names of them and what they do, or you can even get, because stuff is public, there's a certain amount of information that's public, you can get a whole report on companies in seconds if you know how to prompt AI. So now you got people worrying about privacy. Okay, I get this question a lot. Oh my, what about privacy? What about privacy? Ever since the internet, this is Arba talking, but I believe ever since the internet came about, privacy went out the door. They've got all of this stuff saying privacy, they give you your privacy policy and all of that stuff, but information, once the information is out there, it can be data collected. Matter of fact, that is why AI has been made available to the masses, is because that allows it. We're feeding it. We're all feeding it. We're all feeding data to it. That doesn't mean that our data wasn't out there. It was out there before, but it was only available to uh, higher, bigger companies and corporations and government that was using that data, you know, but it was always available. So now it's the matter of how are you using it? And just like if you're concerned about people using it for bad, there's guardrails in AI so that it knows that if someone is trying to figure out, like I gave the example of creating something for dinner based on what you have in your kitchen. Well, if you ask AI, how do I create a bomb? What do I need for that? Oh, that raises flags. Flags are going to go up. It's not going to give you that information. So they do have guardrails on it for that. And just as well as anybody who's trying to get that information, then they'll soon have somebody knocking at your door, because they know what people are searching for with that. Okay, what else can I go on about AI? Just really how I've used it is music. Well, that rubs some people the wrong way too about how it's being used for music, and some of the true artists, whichever. But I don't know. I'm an 80s baby. I wasn't born in the 80s. I was born in the 60s, but the 80s is 60s up to the 80s, 90s. That's when music was really good. And so all of this sampling going on with music and everything anyway, I'd rather have AI personally, because the music, today's music is nothing like it was from the 60s to the 80s, 90s. Let's see. What else about it's so interesting. I mean, I can just go off the cuff talking about AI all day. Instant videos that you can use AI. You can give it. Oh, here's another the ways I've used it. That I can give it, like, say for instance, 10 images, and I can say, take these 10 images and give it one prompt, and not even a long prompt. I could give it, say for instance, if I give it 10 images of happy families or families, in different instances or whatever, maybe a family that's on at a barbecue, another one's in a kitchen, another one's in a living room, then maybe a mom or a dad, and then I can give it a prompt saying that family matters. Let's just say I just tell it that much, right? And then I hit generate. It will create a slideshow. It will read the images. It will know what's on those images. So if it's an image of the family in the kitchen, then it'll give a title on it and saying, you eat together, you stay together, whichever. So it can read the images, do transitions between the photos, add a little animation and music. And I'm telling you, it could do all of that in less than a minute. So if you're trying, remember back in the day, I don't know if any of you, depending on the audience, but I know back in the day, I used to do photo collages, like especially if it was somebody, a homegoing for someone, and maybe somebody wanted a photo collage, and wanted some music playing. How long that would take to do that, and forget trying to put captions on the pictures. But I used to do a lot of that for my family, and it would take, again, hours to put all of those pictures together, and then have them transition, where one would fade in or fade out, and then the music and all of that. And now I could do it instantly, using AI. So if you haven't figured out by now, what I'm here to tell you is that if you are afraid of AI, don't be. It could be your best ally. And as you see on my sign back here. I can help you. That's what I do, is I help to get the jitters out. If you're there's a phrase I say, that if you're on the struggle bus with technology, and you're just struggling and you're moving along really slow on that struggle bus, then you need to get on the train. Get on the Arba train. Toot toot, come and ride the train, and I will help you so that to get over the anxiousness, anxiety, overwhelm, whatever it may be with training. And I love it. I love it. I embrace it. And trying to think what else. And the video editing. Every time I keep thinking, I keep going, and I can go on and on. Video editing. Say, for instance, this video or this training that I'm doing right now. And as you know, there was a lot of pauses that I've done, some whichever. And I could put this in a AI program. There's two things I could do with it. One is that I could just say, chop it up for me, because this is like a 45-minute talk. I could put it in a program and I could say, chop it up, and I want it in 3-minute points. And AI will automatically read the whole video, and it will dissect it into, it could be 30 clips, anywhere 20 to 30 clips, little 3-minute clips where I'm hitting certain points, and it'll automatically do that for me. Oh my God. Can you imagine trying to do that manually? So that's one thing I can do. The other is I can use AI where it will transcribe everything that I said. And then I can, number one, I could say, take out all of my ums and ahs and pauses so that I could sound more professional if I was giving this to someone. I could do that within a second. And then the second thing is, by transcribing it, if I'm looking for a certain segment where I said something specific, then I can extract that. I can extract that from, and I do that. Everything I'm telling you is stuff that I do. I use that for my social media posts, and that makes it very engaging. I'm able to get a hook, capture some information, and people are interested in what I'm saying, and then they will want to come to my training or subscribe to my recordings, or book time with me to learn how to do some of the stuff that I'm doing. So that's something else you can do with AI. So AI is, I just can't imagine where we're going to be in another 2 years. And when Dr. Eric Kelly will ask me to come back again, and we'll see if he'll know if I'm live or Memorex, because maybe what I'll do is I'll send my avatar that will, but it'll be so smooth he won't even know that it's my avatar. We'll see. Let's see, what else have I done? I should have had my notes, but there's so much to talk about. So we talked about the social media, videos, landing page. That's not really AI, but I do want to let you all know that you all should be using some kind of CRM. A CRM is a customer relationship management system. And that's where you are not just trying to keep all of your contacts in your phone, in your cell phone, but you're actually keeping it in some type of way to manage who you met, where you met them, what you talked about, what they might be interested in. And then that way, with your marketing, is more tailored to each person. So then you're sending out meaningful information to the people that's in your database. And again, that's how you're able to achieve better results with your focused marketing, is by using your CRM, segmenting your list. and the emails. We talked about that. So everything that's involved in a digital marketing system, a good digital marketing system, AI can help with all of that. With all the way down from, so we talked about the CRM, social media, videos, landing page, email, and automate all that, and tracking. You can use AI to actually give you analysis. You can feed a lot of information into, the hardest thing sometimes is like, if you've been in business for a while, or you're just doing stuff, or the old saying, just trying to throw stuff against the wall, you don't want to do that. Use AI to analyze and say, from this data, where are you seeing some opportunities? Where are you seeing that time is being wasted, or your efforts? What can be improved? And it can give you that good feedback. Your AI should be your personal assistant. And that's why you need to train it as such. So don't just go into AI and think that it's supposed to know who you are and what you do and what you're trying to accomplish. You want to train your AI like you would an intern or a virtual assistant. You want to feed it the information so that it knows more about you, so that every time you use it, you don't have to retrain it. And that's why using these free versions of stuff, it'll get you by. But the best thing to do is to get a paid version of the core AI software that you're using. And again, I'm not going to say any particular names, but train it so that, just like an assistant, if you tell an assistant that you get me some coffee, right? Your assistant should know that you only drink decaf, you like it flavored, you like, how many cups of sugar or whatever. So I'm saying that to say that you should not have to tell an assistant every time, I want this kind of coffee, this, that. So your AI is the same way, that once you foundationally train it, then if you say, I need a social media post, then it should already know what suggestions to give, because it knows your business, it knows your brand, it knows your voice, all of those things. So if you wouldn't pay for an assistant, or wouldn't pay for, if you wouldn't pay for a virtual assistant or an intern or staff or anything like that, then I can understand the people who don't like AI. But you can get a lot more done and not have to deal with HR by using AI.
Wow.
I know.
I'm live. I'm not Memorex.
I know that was a lot.
It was, but it was very well said. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us and making it relatable. I think that's the misconception people have about technology, is that I can't do it. I'm old school. It's too hard. Well, we didn't start where we are now either. So you have to give yourself grace, but take the time with it and decide that you want to learn.
Yes.
So tell us, if we want to follow up with you, where can we find out more information about what you do, and how can we get in touch with you?
Well, it's right there on my thing, Arba
Okay, I saw that.
training.
I got this one up here.
Yeah, yes. And across there you got your Crystal Gomez.
I do.
Also on Google. If you Google Arba Cooper, I'm all over.
All right. Well, you heard it, folks. Google Arba Cooper.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks again, Arba.
Thank you, Crystal. It was good seeing you again.
Likewise.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Yes, ma'am.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the cash app that's on the screen below. That would be $ capital BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. So we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for July 2025, and they are NC100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Richey Coaching and Training, the Carolina Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Malang Shania Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and Black Business Expo USA. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.